Good morning. This is Carrick Williams Photography, LLC, located at 811 Hickory Glen Drive, Sefton, Florida, 33584. We are a certified DBE, SBE, and MBE. Today's date is Monday, February 19th, 2018, and it's another great day the Lord's made. Beautiful outside. Our client today is Allstate Construction Incorporated, located at 4509 North Nebraska Avenue, Tampa, Florida, 33603. The telephone number is 813-231-2525. The area manager on this project is Mr. Keith Hendry, and the project superintendent is Mr. Carter Jackson. Now, today's assignment is again at the Williams Magnet Middle School. It's the HVAC renovation project. This school is located in East Hillsborough County. The address is 5020 North 47th Street here in Tampa, Florida, 33610. Now, this assignment again is being recorded at an Hillsborough County public school during school hours. As a matter of fact, you can probably hear the PA going off right now. The kids are at gym outside. Because this is a county school and it's during school hours, all contractors like myself have to be badged with a JLA badge. The JLA is the Jessica Lunford Act badge. You have to sign in, and I have these credentials. Now, this project has been broken down into two completely separate phases. Today, we're going to record the second part of phase one, which is going to consist of the interior of the first and second floor of the south half of the school, including any adjacent buildings upstairs. And today we're going to start with the cafeteria, which is right behind me, which is room 168. That's it. Let's get going. We left off last time at room 169, the teacher's lounge. We're going to start off this morning in the same spot, right next door at room 168, which is the cafeteria. We're going to start from the bottom of the doorway, looking up, checking the condition of the glass, the door.
Okay, record the necessary information.
All is in good condition.
Do not start without us, but rotate.
We're going to go inside. We will check the outside windows as we proceed to the next room. Okay, we're going to start now on the inside. Same door, 168, the cafeteria. Door looks good. There's a speaker up top in place. Exit sign. We're going to start with the interior wall of the cafeteria. We're going to get a wide view of this. We're going to notice the first window. Up above the window, the clock says New York. As we zoom in, we're going to see the top of that window in the left corner, which is the west corner. There's a crack in the wall running from the corner up toward the roof. As we go to the second window, we have the same exact crack. The second clock says Paris. And if you notice above that clock, above the window, going to the clock, there's a crack on the left side of the top. That's the west side of the window. From the top of the window, up behind the clock. The window's not broken. Everything looks okay right here. We're going to the third window. Again, the same issue on top. The third window shows a crack at the very top. Above that window is a clock that says Pakistan. To the left of that clock is a clock that says Australia. Again, the same thing in the top left corner. The top left corner, which is the west side of the window, there is a crack, a more pronounced crack from that corner going up to the ceiling tile. Next to that window, between the next two windows, there's a mural of a clock. I'm looking also down at this third window. At the base, at the window sill, at the bottom, there are two distinct cracks in the window sill. This is the window that has Pakistan on top of it. The very top, you'll see Pakistan. We're going to go back wide again. Next window. The next window says Athens to the top of it. Scanning from the bottom to the top. I'm going to notice that again at this window, the west corner, top west corner, next to the mural, there is a significant crack running from the corner all the way up to the top, to the ceiling tile.
So all that we got left in here, this has got to go to strong. This.
The next window. Again, I don't remember if I mentioned this now, but we are facing north. These are the north windows. These are the only windows in the cafeteria. Looking here, same exact event at the top. We're going to notice that it says Venezuela, and at that top left corner, the west corner, there's a significant crack going. It goes, first of all, from the corner up under the clock. But it also shows up above the clock, next to the ceiling tile, another significant crack in the wall. Our next window, which is the last window, it says Tokyo on top. At the bottom, at the window sill, there's a crack in this window, in the window sill itself. For the west side, as I pan up to the top of the window, again that same crack, one of those same type cracks, going from here it is, from the top left corner, which is the south corner. I'm sorry, excuse me, which is the west corner. That when that crack runs from this window sill, from the window corner up to the tile. And this is the window that has Tokyo on top of the clock. If I look down below, also between those two windows, the last two windows, there is some damage, small damage to the wall, the drywall in that area. The next area is the door. This is the east door. Went from bottom to top. I will notice at the bottom on the floor on the tile, there is some damage at the tile. Next to the door, that's the west corner. Next to the east door. We're now going to look at the east wall of the cafeteria. There's a metal opening, roll like a roll-up door. I'm panning around more toward the east. There's a storage room of some kind, looks like just a storage room. I need to make special note that on the north side, on top of the door, there is a crack running. You can see it right here. It's about a foot or 14 inches or so from the corner of the door on top. It runs all the way up to the ceiling tile. I'm gonna look behind both doors before I go in. Behind on the left door, which is the north door, and behind the south door. I will note that next to the south door there is a screw or something in the wall right here, and it's protruding out. Also above those that door, there are same type of screws protruding out. You'll see the Wi-Fi system. You also going to turn here now and go back inside that room. This is the east room, storage room in the cafeteria. I'm going to go and look to my left, which is north. In the corner, in the northeast corner, there is a crack in the wall. It could be paint or chip. There looks like a crack. As far as I can see down, probably about 3.5 feet off the floor, getting closer. And that crack runs in the corner all the way up to the top at the ceiling tile. Ceiling tile in the southeast corner is loose. Ceiling tile in the southwest corner is loose. Going back into the cafeteria now. We're going to head south, looking at the east wall. On the southeast corner, there is what looks like a storage room. I'll see here in just a second. No, it's not. This is the entrance, looks like, to where you pay for your food for the kids, students. Around to the south. Looking toward the west. There is a window here. We're going to look around the window. Another door toward the west. I'm going to turn back and look into the door I came in. Now behind here is the kitchen area. We're not going to go in that area now. We're going to stay into the cafeteria area itself. I will note though that we'll start out here from the west door, the southwest door, looking into this room. The top right corner, there's it looks like some loose tile. We're now looking at the food line for the cafeteria. We're going to take a look first at the top. We're walking toward the west, looking south, noting no damage at this time. We're at the southwest corner. We're going to step in and see the actual food line. We're going to notice the stainless steel equipment. We're starting from the west, going back to the east. I'll note that the first section has a opening. Notice the bottom stainless steel plate is uneven. Again, I'm going from west to east. Before I go any further, I'm going to stop here at the corner where the tile is different. At the corner, this is the southwest corner. It shows some cracking down here at the tile. We continue looking at all the area. And this you're going to notice that the second section, between the second and third section, there's some damage to the stainless steel plate at the bottom. Looking at the back wall, we'll get a better look at that in just a minute when we go back there. I want to make sure I note that there is some damage to the floor in this area, the tile area. There's a threshold that's missing. There's a slight ding in the stainless steel area right here next to the registers. I'm going to stop back again. I noticed another crack here in the middle of the cafeteria above the cash register area. There's a word cougar just to the left of the cougar, right at the C. When you get closer, there's a crack running from almost from the bottom up past the C, almost to the tile, ceiling tile. To look back down at the cafeteria line, I'm gonna notice that panel 1 and 2, panel 2 is hanging down a little low. I'm gonna also note that the stainless steel plate at the very bottom is coming apart. Getting a wider view of the entire line area. I'm going to note that the last two, or the last two of the line, last two panels at the bottom are coming apart. Thank you. We're now going to go back inside the kitchen. We're going to go back inside the kitchen. There's two doors here. We're going to the second door, which is on the south east wall, and go back into the kitchen area. We're going to start at the line behind the food line we just saw earlier. You got the food line itself, surrounding areas. I'm going to note that the drain on the bottom is loose. As we go to another section, the west side, I'm gonna note that I shouldn't have to, but this is the seal, the bottom of this first refrigerator is damaged, like it's just old. The ding in the floor. The next drain again is loose at the bottom. I'm going to note that this sink area, the very bottom, is the corner is damaged. We are now on the far west side of this cafeteria. There's a teacher's lounge that we did yesterday. That has already been done. This is the entrance to the teacher's lounge. We're going to turn left, which is south, and go into the next area. We're now back in the kitchen area. We'll go back and look at the area we came in. There's a fan in here, that's why you hear the noise. We're looking at the west wall. There's an ice machine. Here's the fan. Sink area. We're walking toward the south. This is room 168B. There is some damage to the bottom corner. That's the southwest corner. The next room is room 168D, as in dog. This looks like an office area. We're gonna go inside that office. I'm gonna note that as I look back to the door we just came in, at the top area, between the door and the window, there's a crack going horizontally. I'm looking south now. Looking at the alarm system. It's not damaged, but it's not connected completely. I notice on the bottom, below that, there's an opening with a wire coming out. And head back out. The next room right next to the office is room 168C. Starting from the bottom, going up to the top door. Going to my left. Looking back at the door we just came in. Noting a couple of small holes in the ceiling next to the right light. That's probably, I can't tell which way I'm facing. It's a light on the right. There's two lights in here, the right light. Before it and to the other side of that light is another damage in the ceiling. I came in the room and went counterclockwise, so this is now the wall next to the door we just came in. There is it looks to be like a patch. I can barely see it. Up top, behind some boxes. That's the best I can see. There's also a scrape, two scrapes on the wall next to the door. One next to the door and one a little ways farther from it. Going back out into the kitchen area. You get a wide angle view of the kitchen. Note there's a patch up top of the lights. Looking at this is the back door. I believe this is the door to the outside. I'm gonna check real quick. Yes, this is the door to the outside. Noting that there is some damage at the bottom of this door on the right side and the left side. Going back toward the east. Looking back at the equipment. There's that patch again. Looking back to the north. And the south wall. There's that fan causing all that noise. Sink area. Back toward the north. Again, another door to the outside. Just noticing some minor damage, both the right and left side to the seal. Just the left side, damage on the seal. This is another room, it's room 168H. Notice that the door has some white, I don't know what that is, scratches or paint or something. Looking at one of the east walls. Breaker boxes. Next room is 168K. This is lockers. Noticing that there's some damage to the area around the light top. There's also some damage to the ceiling by the light. Another hole over here. No apparent damage. Heading back out. Here's that interior door. Heading toward the north. Note that at this door, there's no room number for this door. And on the corner, below the fan, there's a crack in the corner tile. There are 4 holes behind that fan in the tile. This is the room we saw the outside of, where it looks like there's a cash register there. There's 2 holes in the wall. That is not a crack. It looks like a pencil or pen or something. There is, however, some residue, looks like glue or something on that same wall, where it was patched or something was adhered to it earlier. It's just a storage cabinet, broken shelf. Broken shelves, plural. And here we're going to go back outside into the kitchen, into the cafeteria. We're going to go to the far west wall. Okay, so we're going to start at the west wall. This is the southwest corner of the west wall. We're going to note, first of all, where the tile turns into drywall or plaster at the corner. The transition is, we're going to note some damage. There's a mural on this wall. Right before it gets to the mirror, you see it's a really dirty area, but you also see some damage in that plaster above the electrical outlet and toward the floor area. We're now going to just look at the mural area. We didn't do too much looking at the tile because the tiles are coming out and they're doing the AC work. I'm going to note here there's a crack in the wall. There's a horizontal and a vertical crack. You'll see two windmills to the left of the south of that. You'll see get closer. Damage to the mural. And a crack going from the floor to the top. That crack is kind of hard to see at the top, but it runs all the way up through the pyramid looking structure, all the way up to the top, up to that what looks like a return air grill. We continue toward the back toward the door. There's one door here, and that door is to the teacher's lounge. We're going to just look at it and make sure. This is the room we came in yesterday, the teacher's lounge. We're going to start now walking toward the east. We're going to back up and show the exterior. This is the cafeteria. I'm going to show the exterior of the windows. First, this is the second window. Third window. This is the next column. Fourth window.
All right, we're 5 seconds.
Fifth window. Next column.
All right, here we go in 3, 2, 1, go. 30 seconds, Aaron.
There's a lot of no damage. It's just showing caulking missing in the column, support column. We're now coming to the final window. And this is the east door to the cafeteria, room 168.
Breathe. We're going to record your information, RD, type,
As we, I'm going to go outside. This is the walkway to the end of the building. We're going to first start here at the cafeteria, step outside into the courtyard, and look at the exterior of the building, then come back to the same area and do underneath the walkway at the door and go into the classrooms. We're going to start now just north on the outside of the cafeteria. This is the east cafeteria door. We're we look at the exterior of the building, going from west to east. Noting the wood fence. Just passing room 164. Now passing room 162. We're at a walkway. This walkway is right in front of room 159. We're going to start at the walkway and notice a crack right in front of the room. I'm going to turn around and look to our north. Look to the right, which is east. Note a crack in the concrete. We go forward toward the east. We're going to look at the intersection here and note there's a crack in the corner. I'll continue another crack. There's a crack on the west side and cracks at the first intersection. We're going to continue and notice a crack on the right side, which is the west side, just past the intersection. Next intersection, there's cracks on the concrete, crack in the middle, cracks on the west side. We're going to continue to the north. Another crack in the left side, which is the west side, before we get to the intersection. A crack at the intersection itself. And again, cracks on the east side. We're continuing north. The next intersection has some severe cracks. Crack in the middle. And crack again on the west side. And we're going to go to this last area here, which is actually part of phase 2. We'll get to that next time, but since I'm here, just showing a crack in the concrete. We're going to go back to the building and continue on phase 1, continue east. Again, we're starting again at room 159 and proceeding toward the east. Looking at the exterior of the building. I would note here, there's a double support column here, and there's no real damage. There's just cracking in the caulking going from the bottom to the top. This is where the two-story part of the building is separated from the one-story part. We can now see the two-story part. Noting the windows. Back up some. Noticing the outside of the first and second window going from west to east. I don't see any damage, but I do see tape and miscellaneous on the windows. Looking at the third and fourth window exterior. Don't see any damage to either of those windows. Noting could be a water drum. We're looking at the second story part of the building. Coming down. Since we're here looking at the entire second story of this building. I'm going to note the small courtyard here. We'll get the interior as we walk on the second round. We're now looking east. We're going to make a special note here. First, on the concrete on the bottom between the columns, there is a severe crack. I'll make a special note that their school mascot, which is a cougar, I'm looking from south to north. About a foot from the top, there's a crack horizontally going all the way across. There's also a crack right there in front of the cougar's face. It comes down from that crack. There's multiple cracks you'll see going across and through the bottom, the rear half of the cougar, going all the way to the north wall. There's also, it looks to be a crack, could be, I'm not sure, there at the water fixture and below the cougar. We're still facing east, moving toward the north. We're going to stop here, and we're now going to go We started before by the cafeteria and walked the interior underneath the covering. This is an overall view of the open green area. Between the two buildings. We start again. As a reference point, we're going to start from room 168, the cafeteria, where we ended up. We're going to start going toward the east. Our next room is room 166, which says concessions. Before we go into that room, we're going to note that on the walkway, the concrete right across from that room, there is a crack in the concrete. Again, room 166, concessions. Going in, looking from left to right, noting a crack in the ceiling tile. Hole actually in the ceiling tile. This is that roll-up door we saw in the cafeteria. This is the other side of that door, the east side of that door. Crack in ceiling tile. And there's some damage to dent at the bottom kick plate. Before we leave this area, again, this is room 166, concessions. Outside the door, the concrete, there's a crack in the concrete on the floor and a crack in that, the wall meets the floor. Our next room is 164. Noting the condition of the door from top to bottom. We came in this room yesterday from the other side. This is the north side. This is the band room. Came in here yesterday, I completely walked around, saw room 164A. So we're not going to go back into this room. I just want to make sure I note, though, on the floor, on 164, there's a scrape in the tile, a long scrape in the tile floor. Before we come to our next room, on the left-hand side, I'll note there's a crack in the tile, in the concrete. The next room we're going to go into is room 162. As we go into room 162, this is another band or orchestra room. We were in this room yesterday. We viewed the entire room. So we're not going to go into this room except to show the floor and make sure I show that close to the carpet area, the linoleum tile has been damaged. There's damage going across the floor next to the carpet and the threshold. Room 162. The next room, room 161. I'm going to note that right across from that room, there is a crack in the sidewalk There are a couple cracks in the sidewalk, one directly across the door and one just a little ways farther. We're gonna go inside room 161 now. Okay, so this is room 161. We're going to start from our right, which is the west side of the room. The doorway we came in, there is a scratch across the door. There's also a crack in the wall just above the door going up to the ceiling tile. We're going to pan around this room. This is the west wall. I'll make special note that there's a crack from the floor to the ceiling in the southwest corner. All the way up to the ceiling. I'm going to show the south wall. There's a small dent right next to the outlet. You see the blue and orange? The dent right next to that. Looking at the southeast corner. Looking at the east wall, there are two holes in the top where there was something previously mounted. When we look at the northeast corner, that corner also has a crack from the floor going all the way up to the ceiling tile. And this is the north wall going from east to west. We're going to proceed down the hallway to the next classroom, going toward the east. There's a crack in the concrete.
Hi, ladies.
Oh, she is taller than you.
Oh my God.
We just came out of room 161. We're heading east down the walkway. This is the second column past the 161 room. A note on the left-hand side in the walkway, there is a crack in the concrete. We're coming up now to our very first window. I don't have the room number yet. This is the far west window. There's a crack in the concrete just below this window, between the first and second window. The second window, again counting from west to east. Between the second and third window on the left-hand side, you'll see several small cracks. In the concrete. I want to make a special note. I didn't notice it earlier, but in that walkway, the walkway we're getting up to now, in the corner, there's some severe damage in the sidewalk. I'll get a better view of it in just a second. Okay, we're coming up to the third window. coming up to the fourth window. And this is the window right in front of the walkway. I'm gonna look down again here at the walkway. There's some severe damage I mentioned earlier. So to give you better reference, this is room 159. This is where the walkway starts. 159 to the right, which is west in the corner. There's that damage. We're gonna go inside room 159 now. Okay, as we look here now, we see room 159. We're going inside that door. As I look down at the bottom, the tile is damaged. I come in, looking to my left, which is east. Kind of hard to see. Well, first of all, here's the door. Just to the right of the door, probably about 1.5 feet, starting at the ceiling tile. Just below that, what looks to be a return air vent, there is a crack in the wall. Kind of hard to see, but it is definitely there. If I get a better view. It's right there. Just to the right of that ceiling tile support. Okay, again, I'm looking north now. There's a door we came in. I'm going around to the east wall. I'm going to note that above the first window, just above it, there is a crack in the wall. A note above the third window, there's a stained ceiling tile. I'm going to go back over here and look at the countertops. We will notice that the outside molding is gone all the way across. There's also a damaged area in the back. We'll continue to looking at the east wall. I'm going to note there's a column. You can see the door, there's a column right here. The column does have some damage in the corner. We'll notice that the tile next to the windows, between the column and the windows, has damaged. They're the last windows. I'm going to note that the tile on the floor just past the last window is stained and damaged. Looks like something was there, been removed. We're coming now to the south wall. There's a 158A teacher planning room. Now, we're going to go into this room, but not go any farther, because this room is tied into the room on the other side of the school. We did that room yesterday. So we're going to go in here. I think we recorded this yesterday also, but and back out. Looking at the south wall of the room. Looking at the whiteboard. This is room 159C. I'm going to go inside there. As we go into room 159C, we're going to, here's the room number. We're going to notice that the tile has damage on the floor. There's a piece of loose tile over here. Floor tile is damaged all around the room. There's tile missing, tile moved. Looking at the storage cabinets, and note some water stain in the south wall. There's some scratches on the wall, south wall. Ceiling tile cracked. There's some severe staining on the north wall inside this room. Some mildew. I'm going to note there's room 159B. The left side, let's go farther back. There's a water fountain. Above the water fountain, next to and going right through behind the fire alarm, you'll see a crack in the wall going up to the ceiling tile and staining of that tile. Next is room 159B. Before we go in, I'm going to start to the left, which is the southeast corner, and note the damage on the corner. We're going to also note that there's a crack going all the way up the plaster. And there's also holes in the wall. We're going to go over to the sign that says in use. To the left of that sign, you'll see there is some, I guess it's a crack, but more so below there's a severe damage to the doorway right below the sign. I'm gonna go back over here again and just show that really good. There's also some kind of indentation or something, like somebody ran down the wall next to that fire alarm. We're gonna now go inside room 159B. The bottom side of that, before we go in, bottom side has some severe damage also of the door opening. And also holes going up the wall. Here's a closer look at the damage right below the in use sign. Looking on the left side where the light switches are, again there's that damage on the floor. We'll note that the light panel is broken. See it better right there. Looking from the inside out, you'll notice on the left side, which is the west wall there, you'll see the damage in the corner at the opening of the doorway. We're now looking at the west wall. The next room before we get to that is room 159A. We'll note that just above the faucet, there's a fixture hole in the wall, a hole in the wall. We'll also notice that above the doorway, there's some water staining. Also, at the top of the door, there's a dent in the doorway. Coming in the doorway to my right, going from right to left, which is west to east. As we walk in, we'll note that in the corner, in the northwest corner, there is damage going up the wall, the corner completely. You'll see it. It goes from bottom to top. Actually, it actually goes around the corner a little bit too. The top has a crack in it, looks like, going around the top. But the most severe part is that corner. That's the northwest corner. In the southwest corner, at the bottom, there's a crack in the wall also. In the southeast corner, not in the corner itself, right next to the corner, about 10 inches or so away, there is a crack going from close to the floor all the way up to the ceiling. Looking behind the door. We're now going to look at the west wall. I'm going to note we're at the southwest corner. Below the table there, you'll see a small crack in the wall underneath that countertop. We're at the northwest corner, and now we're looking at the north wall. It's the first window. Second window. I have a note here that, let me back up some more. Just before the first window, I'll notice that the countertop is severely damaged. Going to just after the second window, we notice that the base of these cabinets is damaged. Third window, we notice that the door handle is bent downward. And this is the final window. The fourth window, we're going to note that the countertop edging is completely gone. On the west side, on the south side, and partially on the east side. There's also a chip missing at the bottom. We're now leaving room 159, heading east. On the left, you'll see a crack in the concrete. Now coming to room 157. 157. I'm going to note there's some minor paint damage on the right side of the door by the handle, in the middle of the door, going up. Go inside room 157. As we enter room 157, note on the bottom that the molding there is kind of damaged. The seal, the door. I'm going to go in and look to our left first. Looking back at the door we just came in. Again, room 157. We're going to notice that as we first come in on the floor, close to the floor, I'm sorry, just above the floor, you'll see a couple holes in the wall. We're going to look up and notice that the linoleum stuff is missing. The covering is missing off the desk area, table area. We're going to notice also that the second cabinet door at the bottom, you'll see some damage. You'll notice that the third set of drawers at the bottom, there is damage. Notice also just above that, above the third set, there's that same strip across the front is missing. The next set, which is the fourth cabinet looking area on the bottom, is damaged. On the fifth set of drawers, bottom corner is missing, is damaged. I'm going to look backwards now at the drawers and cabinets. You'll see the second one is not closing correctly. The third one has some damage on the corner. The fourth one also has damage at the bottom. The door's not closing correctly. This is the fifth one. There's some damage. The sixth door, you'll see that door's not closing correctly. Make a special note just above the sixth door, just above the sixth door, there is a crack in the entire wall. It's going to be kind of hard to see. But it's right there above that opening, a cabinet. It goes all the way up to the ceiling. Kind of see it right there. The eighth door, counting from north to south, is not quite sealing correctly. You'll see again the front part of the covering is missing. You'll also notice that some of these handles are missing also. Next set, this is the ninth. Handle missing, damage at the bottom. You can also notice that the countertop here in this area is dipped going down. We're going to notice that at the southeast corner, there's some damage to the wall, and it cracks, goes all the way up. We're now looking at the south wall. We'll note that above the whiteboard there are holes in the wall. There's 4 holes there. There's several holes below the light. We'll note also as we turn around toward the west wall, there's a door. Above that door, at the very top, at the top of the door, there's a crack going from the door over to the cabinets, and then from the cabinet up the wall to the ceiling. We're now looking at the west wall. We'll notice that the first set of drawers has damage at the bottom. The next set of drawers had damage at the bottom. The next door is not closing correctly. We're also going to note that between the second and third, there's a set of drawers on my left over here. There's a cabinet to my right. Below that, underneath, there is a crack in the wall. That crack comes from there and continues upward to the window. The fourth set of drawers, you notice that there's a damage at the bottom. There's also damage at the bottom of the second one too there, okay? There's damage in the middle area also. That's the fourth set of drawers. The fifth drawer, you'll see damage at the very bottom. You will notice that on top of the countertop, the rubber or plastic protective area, like you see over here, see it here, is missing in this area. We're going to note that this fifth cabinet door does not have a handle and that it is not closing correctly. And finally, the last one, the last set of drawers, is severely damaged at the bottom. This is the drawer at the set of drawers at the northwest corner. We'll step back and look at the north wall. We're now leaving room 157, continuing toward the east. Right across from room 157, there's a crack in the concrete. Notice some minor chips in the paint. We're going to notice that there's some issue with the paint here in this area going to the next room. Coming up to room 155. We're entering room 155 now. I'm going to start from my left, looking toward the east, now back to the north. This is the door we came in. I want to note that at the top of the door, east corner, next to the fire alarm, you'll see a crack in the wall. We're looking north now, traveling toward the east. First window. Second window. Third window. This is the northeast corner. Oh, there's a hole in the wall. Okay. We're now looking at the east wall. We're coming now to the south wall. I'm going to note that as I face the south in the center island, at the bottom there's some damage in the corner of that cabinet. I'm going to note that in the center, it looked like an opening for maybe a refrigerator. There's a 220 plugged in the bottom. The tile is damaged at the bottom on both sides and also in the corner. There's a crack in the wall running from the bottom and damaged and crack going up to the top. We're now at the southwest corner. We'll note here that some minor damage on the floor. Looking at the west wall now. I noticed that there is a major hole in the wall. There's some damage to the floor tile. We continue looking at the west wall and the west counters. We'll notice that this last counter has some of the outside coating missing right at the corner. We're going to go inside room number 155B. 155B. Before we go there, we're going to note that in that corner, just above the sign, there is a crack going horizontally from the door to the cabinet. There's also a crack above the door going from the top of the door to the ceiling. This is room 155B. Looking to my left first, which is south. Notice in the top, notice on the wall there are scratches on the wall. Wet ceiling tile. More scratches on the wall below. There's also cracking in the corner, just above the washing machine. Actually, put the light on. The cracking starts close to the floor, right at the floor. You can see the cracking goes, there you can see it better now, up the wall, the top of the cabinets, and then above the cabinet, it's cracked also in the corner, right in the corner. Looking back toward the north. On the west wall, on the west side, there's a tile missing on the floor. There's a crack in the wall underneath the breaker box. There's also a crack in the wall above the breaker box going up about 2 feet, makes a quick right, and then goes up to the ceiling tile. It's very hard to see. We're now going into another room. There's no number on that room. It's right next door to room 155B. Looking to my right and backward, this is the door we just came in. This is the east wall of this room. There is a crack running in the corner from the ceiling to the floor. That's the northwest corner. There's a slight crack in the corner, the southwest corner, right in the corner, going down about halfway. This concludes this room. Now leaving room 155, again heading east. Just outside the room, in the concrete, there's a crack in the middle. There's also a crack in the corner, just past the door, in the concrete. Now looking at the exterior windows, first of all, there's a crack in the concrete across from the second window, but here's the first window, room 155 on the exterior. You also see those painting issues on the wall. We're going to the second window from the floor to the top. We do see some damage to the paint between window 1 and 2. Third window. Again, the paint issues on the wall. We're now coming to room 153, 153. Noticing some paint issues on the wall, on the door. And now again going inside room 153. Start to my left, looking back at the door we just came in. While I'm at the door, I'm going to look just to my left a little bit more, which is actually north west, and notice at the fire extinguisher equipment, there's a crack, a damage in the wall, and a crack going down. We're going to go not to my left. We're going to go, I'm sorry, to my right, which is toward the northeast. Noting that the first window on the top there's a crack in the window up to the ceiling. I need to go back above the door. Above the door, there's another crack just above the door on the left side, on the west side, from the door to the ceiling. I'm going to note that there may be a slat missing, or maybe just pulled back some from that window. The second window, counting from west to east. There's a slight crack, hard to see, but it's right almost in the middle of the window. You'll see some red, looks like lipstick or paint there, but it's right there going from the window down to the floor. Third window. And the final fourth window in the corner. I'm going to note that in that corner, though, the window looks good in the corner, though. There's some markings on the wall. Something could have been there. But the special note, see the markings on the wall there, is that from that marking all the way up, there's a crack going all the way up that corner wall to the ceiling tile. We're now looking at, there's a door going to the next room. We're going to get that door from the other side when we go into that room. But this is the east wall. There's a fixture here in the middle of the room. I'm noticing that the fixture has damage at the bottom. This is the east fixture. It's like a sink or something. But at the bottom there's some damage on the north side. Again, looking at the east wall. There's some tape was on that wall, but there's no damage. We're now looking at the south wall. The whiteboard area, noticing there's some damage. Well, not damage, there's 4 holes in the wall. Another couple of holes in the wall above the whiteboard. Another couple of holes in the wall next to a bracket. Another island. Special note. To the right, or the west side of the whiteboard, there's some above the top last section, there's a crack in the wall going from the top of the whiteboard area to the ceiling. There's a door, 153A. The top of that door, there's a crack. The door to the ceiling. Then that's room 153A. look to my left as we walk in this door into the room. There's a stain in the ceiling tile in the southwest corner. There's a slight damage in the middle of the wall above the sink. This is the west wall. And now we're looking back toward the north from the door we came into. This is the west wall. There's another fixture on the west side of the room. I'm going to note that the bottom part of this fixture toward the floor, there is some damage on the north side. Again, this is the west wall. It's just outside of this room, 153. The notes on the floor, there's cracks in the concrete. We're going to show the wall and window area of room 153 and the next room too. First window, counting from west to east. Note in front of between the first and second window in the concrete there's some damage to the concrete and a crack. Second window. And just before we go to the next one, you'll notice the concrete here across the way, close to the outside, another crack in the concrete. Third window, counting from west to east. Across from that window again, another crack in the concrete. Fourth window. 1, 2, 3, 4. This is the next room. This is the first window for that next room. I can give the number of that room. It is 149, room 149. First window, counting from the west to the east. Second window, middle window. Across from that second, between the second and the first window on the concrete, there are severe cracks in the concrete. 1, 2, 3. And here's the third window, or the window closer to the room door, counting from west to east. I just looked up and I noticed that there's a slight crack in the ceiling from that just above between the first and second window. By the first door, by the lights, between the two lights. We're now at room 149. And that crack also extends above room 149. We're now going to go inside room 149. Starting to my left, this is the east wall. The east wall corner, you see 4 screws in the wall. Looks like something was hanging. This is the south wall. There's a slight water stain above on the second tile. Going to the east wall now. This is the south wall. Going to the east wall. I'm going to make some little note that there's some damage to the outlet at the bottom on the west wall. There's some, looks like tape adhesive on the floor, but it's no damage. And we're at the northwest corner. And now we're looking at the north wall. First window, counting from west to east. Middle window. First window. We just came out of room 149. We're going to continue doing the exterior. We're looking at the south wall. This is the walkway, hallway. We're going to go inside there later. I'm still on the outside right now. This is the south corner, southeast corner. There's some slight damage at the bottom down here underneath the door and the concrete. We're now panning around to the east. We're coming up to room number 141. 141. We're going into room 141. We're going to start from my left, which is north. This is the corner, the room we just came in, the door. North wall. There's a door in the northeast corner. This is the the east wall. First window, counting from north to south. This is the south wall. Now And we're heading around toward the west wall. Room 140. We're going to start to my left. Looking back at the door we just came in, this is the west wall. Northwest corner. North wall. Northeast corner. East wall. First window counting from north to south. Southeast corner. South wall. We're now going to walk, leaving room 141, then 140, and walk toward the north. Note the opening here, going to the outside of the school. This is east. Note the gate looks to be in good condition. Now this side is the north side, and this side is not going to be really covered much. I'm going to just, because we're in the area, just show the area. But we are going to look back at the walkway on the outside. It's between buildings. We'll see. There is some paint damage and cracking. The handrails. We're going to look at this stairwell on the outside. We'll get a better view of it as we go up to the second floor later. As a reference, this is the same stairwell that we looked at earlier and saw the school mascot out front, and again those cracks in that wall. We're going to start now and do the interior of the school walkway, the 6th grade hallway ahead. To my right, you'll see the stairwell, room 140 and 141. Again, this is the 6th grade hallway. come in and look to our left and back behind us, this is the doorway we just came in, 6th grade hallway. I'm trying to do both sides at the same time, I guess. Starting from the doorway, looking to my right, the lockers, left side lockers, east side lockers. I'm going to go into room number 142. I'm going to notice that at the bottom of the door there's some damage. Again, this is room 142. I'm going to look back at the door we just came into, which is the west wall. We notice there's some scratching on the door, some paint scraped off. Minor damage at the bottom of the door, minor damage. There is, however, a slight crack in the wall just between the door and the whiteboard. Really hard to see a hairline crack, but it goes up from there to the top. We're looking at the west wall. Northwest corner. North wall, there are 4 holes in the wall above the whiteboard. Northeast corner. Northeast window first. Window counting from north to south. This is the east wall. There is some minor damage under the second window. I just noticed that. Some minor damage, a hole and some scrapes over there. Very minor. Note that there's a light fixture's broken. This is the south wall. I'm going to look back at where we came from. Again, this is room 142 in the hallway. We'll go across here to room 150. It's a mechanical room. We are now in the mechanical room. Back out again, you see this is room 150. You go in, putting the pipe on the floor. We come back and look at the door we entered into. This is the east wall. Transformer. This is the south wall. This is the north wall. There is, just so I know, there are some cracks in the concrete floors coming from all the way from the door, running on the floor, going into the room. You're noticing all the area, the flooring, some cracks. But note all the machinery in here. Do a complete walk around. This is just going to be an overview of the entire mechanical room. We're at the west, of the end of the room, west side, west wall. And some slight damage on the insulation. And that was, again, room 150, mechanical room. We're now going to turn around to the east and look into the 6th grade boys' bathroom, room 143. I just checked the bathroom first, there's no one in there, and we're going to proceed to do the recording. As I walk in, I noticed that there's some discoloration or replacement tiles put in. There's some minor cracks and damage to the wall going in the corner right here. There's some patch in the back wall as you go in. Turning in to our right, again, we'll see some cracks in the plaster. We're heading into the boys' bathroom. Urinal area. There's some words, bad words on the door. You'll notice over the sink area, start at the corner first, right by the sink, there's some broken, damaged towel. Then above the sink, there's some damaged towel, and there's some holes in the tile. And you see how the sinks are coming away from the walls a little bit. Going in here, going into a larger bathroom. Looking, there's a crack up here by the fan and the miscellaneous holes on the walls. Again, the sink is coming off the wall a little bit. There's some patched caulk work done in the corner, but no damage. A little bit of damage right here in the corner. Of the stall, the larger stall. So I'm looking to the smaller stall. There's no real damage area. As I go back out, okay. We're going to walk down to the next restroom, which is the girls' restroom. Noticing the door, let's go to this door first. This is 144 custodian room. This room is 144A custodian. There we go. As I come in, I look down, I see the tile is cracked in the doorway. As I come inside the room, look back at the door we came in. It's a small room. Notice some damage on the floor, or next to the floor, the wall. The wall meets the baseboard. And there's some damage again on the south wall where the wall meets the baseboard. There's a hole in the wall and there's damage to the plaster. Okay, this is room 145. This is the girls' bathroom only. I'm gonna make some noise. Hello? Anybody in here? Anybody inside the girls' bathroom? Yeah, I know that I did reach out. There's no response. I'm gonna proceed carefully into the girls' restroom. As I go in, the entrance on the right side, I see this, it's not really a crack, it's some kind of damage to the wall, but it's very minor. Just want to make sure I note it. Also the floor, the tile's been replaced, but it's damaged. We go in, we notice some damage to the plaster along the baseboard. Hello? Anybody in here? Again, I make sure everyone's in the room. I noticed that the threshold is cracked, and so is the tile. As we go in, we note there's some damage to the tile on the bottom floor, just the bottom green, heavy green tile just above the mirror. Looking inside the first stall on the left. Looking at the Second stall, middle stall. Outside, there's just some writing, but there's no damage, scratches. Going into the third and larger stall. Noticing some holes in the wall. Again, more holes in the wall, tape on the wall. Coming back out and looking at the sink area. Just some patched holes in the wall. No damage, but just notice that the caulking around the sinks is cracked on both sinks. Again, going back outside, noticing that there's this plasters damaged. I'm going to go across the hall now. This is room 151, teacher's planning room. I'm going to note the door. Going in, looking to my left first. Looking at the door we just came in. Up top in the corner, there is a hole in the ceiling tile. Looking between the door and the caulk board or bulletin board, there is some damage to the wall. Looking around the room, this is the south wall. We have the stained carpet in the back, also stained carpet in the front. Looking at the west wall, noticing there's some minor damage to the wall. We're going to look inside the restroom. Starting from the door we just came in. There are some scratches on the wall, but there's no real damage, some paint scratches. Small hole under the sanitary dispenser. Holes in the wall next to the toilet. Looks like something's been removed from there. Noting that underneath the toilet there's some breakage in the tile that's left open. Coming out and then going to room 146. 146. Look at the door on 146 first. There's, what do you see, any damage? However, up above the door, above room 146, there's a crack in the ceiling. It runs out about 2 feet, makes a nice little turn, but you can see it right here. I'll get a little closer view. Again, this is room 146. At the door, 146 at the bottom of the door, you can see where the wall and plaster is cracked where it meets the baseboard. Also in the corner, just above the lockers, there's some damage to the corner. Okay, again, this is room 146. Go in, look to my left, and back at the door we just came in from bottom to top. I notice just above the door, south side, from the door going up, there's a crack in the, right there in the wall. This is the north wall, cabinets and storage area. This is the northeast corner. The east wall, 3 windows. Southeast corner. I'll note that there's a wet spot just toward the middle of the room in the ceiling tile over the whiteboard. I notice there's a X or some minor damage to the, I guess you call it the cork board on the end. That's the southwest corner. Up top, you see some damage to the ceiling tiles. There's also a wet spot on the ceiling tile. Just some tape on the floor, tape removal on the floor. This is the west wall. This is the corner, and that's that end piece there, the caulk board end. There's some damage to that area. We're going to look at the rest of the hallway. Again, from 151, the teacher's planning area. We're going to note the lockers. I'm going to note also, after we pass 146, up top here's another, that's not a crack, that's an expansion joint looking thing, okay. Nothing. Again, looking at the lockers on both sides. I will note, however, on the south wall, in the corner between the locker and the door, there's some damage to the wall next to the floor. Also, on the other side, which is the west corner, again, there's some damage. There's a door. And there's a minor crack on the southeast corner. Zoom in there. The crack up there in the wall. And this is an overall view of the hallway we just came out of. We're now going to turn and continue south outside, and then we're going to go to the start the upstairs recording. We're going to start back now. I'm now facing north. This is the other end, or the south end of the hallway. 6th grade hallway only. From the condition of the door, to note to the left side, which is the west side, there is some slight damage just below the doorstop. So turn around and you'll see we've already covered these rooms, 147 and I believe 146, I believe. And this is the stairwell going up to the 2nd floor. We're now going to start the 2nd floor recording. We're now going up the stairs. We're up to the 2nd floor. This is the south stairwell. I'm up here, I'm going to make some adjustments, and you can see that at the top of the stairwell, not the top, it's the landing of the stairwell, there is a crack in the sidewalk in the landing. Looking from north to south, you'll see a hairline crack. Also, there's a crack running from east to west. Make the turn and go up the next set of steps. Again, you can see more of that crack. Handrails look good. There's a couple of minor cracks on the steps. The first and second step, there's a crack in the concrete. Okay, we're now at the top of the steps. We're going to look down the steps so you can see it good from here. The top of the steps, looking down. Just take a peek up top and see the covering, the condition of the covering. Turning now toward the east. Handrails. We're now going to start heading in toward the 8th grade. If you start, we're on the 2nd floor. We're on the 2nd floor. We're going to look up, first of all, starting from the left, which is the west. We're going to note that right above the walkway, the light is damaged. The outer covering is missing completely. Get a closer view of that. Sorry. We proceed down, sorry. I'm going to turn around and look at the south wall, starting from west going back east. We're going toward the east now. Now we're going to start at our first room. This is room 242. Room 242. Okay, we're going inside room 242. I'm going to start from my left, turn around. This is the doorway. I think the carpet's got an issue down here, it's been damaged. Some tape on it, like Spider-Man tape. Looking at the west wall. Northwest corner. This is the north wall. There's no damage, there's just some paint damage up above the top of the whiteboard. Like something was stuck up there and then was pulled off and pulled some tape with it. This is the northeast corner. East wall. East wall starting from the north going to the south. And this is the south wall. Just some minor things, some nail in the top up here and some nail up there and a screw. There's also something else stuck to the wall. I'm not sure what that is. Where is it? There it is. Again, some minor paint off the wall underneath the whiteboard. There looks to be some damage on the whiteboard. Let's get closer. No, that is not damage. There is no damage to that wall. There is, back out. That is not damaged. That's just some paper stuck to the whiteboard. It's not damaged. There's a very minor nick in the very corner, the southwest corner of the caulk board. We're now going to continue in the hallway. We're going to look at the handrail, kind of hard to see. There you go. This is the handrail running north to south. There is some damage here. There's like paint on it in a couple areas. Again, we'll see the some paint. We're going now to room 240. Before I go inside room 240, I'm going to note that there is some damage to the concrete right next to the wall, the north corner wall. Notice there's some crack in the concrete there. And we're going to go inside room number 240. Okay, here's the door to room 240. There's a small crack in the concrete just as you enter on the bottom. And let's go inside. Notice also there's the very bottom, there's a little damage at the corner of the door. The sweep. This room is carpeted. I'm going to come in and go from the left again. Turn around and look at the door we just came in. That's the west wall. But note that something was removed from that area because you see the discoloration in the wall. A large box or cabinets or something. Looking at the west wall, I'm looking also at the corner of the countertop, and notice that there's some material missing off that corner. I'm going to go around and notice that let's get closer, on the doors themselves, you'll see that it looks like what was there is tape, I guess. On many of the doors, the first 3 sets of doors on the bottom. And this is the west wall. We're turning now toward the north wall. I noticed that there's some minor paint damage at the top. Some paint damage on the bottom, under the whiteboard. There's a minor dent, a couple of dents in the wall above the whiteboard. Looks like they've been painted over already. We're now looking at the northeast corner. This is the east wall. Windows going from north to south. This is the southeast corner. And this is the south wall. There's a door there. Let's check that door out. Noticing there's a door here on the south wall. Let's see what's here. The door is locked and there's no lock to get in there. So notice there's also some minor dings on the wall by that door. There's more of that paint damage. We're now back outside and we're going to look at these rooms. We're going to start working toward the west Noticing that there are cracks again in the sidewalk next to the wall. Cracks in the corner of the concrete, the walkway. There's also a crack here just before you get to room 219. A crack in the concrete. We'll look at room 219 on the outside. Just some minor paint scratches, but no damage to the door. We're now going to go inside room 219. There we are. Notice the condition of the carpet is very dirty in the entrance. We notice also that the water stripping here is damaged, going down almost to the floor. But again, you can see how the carpet is very dirty. Again, going to my left. I'm going to first of all note the door we came in. Looking at the south wall, the interior windows, we'll notice the outside, the exterior windows when we come back on the outside. This is the west wall. Again, just noting that the carpet is extremely dirty. I'm going to note that there's a fixture loose in the northwest corner of the whiteboard. Now looking at the north wall. And this is the east wall. Again, noticing the condition of the carpet. Ceiling tile loose. There's a square hole in the ceiling tile next to the looks like wireless router. And again, that's the southeast corner. We're now going to the west, going to room 221. I'm sorry, yes, 221. Take a look at the wall. That's a brick wall. The wall next to 221. I look back to my right now. Again, looking back at room 219, we can see the two windows, the exterior windows for 219. This is the east window, and this is the west window. And again, we're going into 221. If I look below, just below the window, this is the west window, room 219. We'll notice that the door stop is damaged. Okay, we're going to go inside room 221 now. Left, going to my left, noticing the fire equipment door has letters missing. Looking back at the doorway, I'm going to notice that the handle has scratched the door quite a bit, and it shows the paint scratched off. Ceiling tile loose at the top. Ceiling tile loose again at the top. That's the southeast corner. This is the south wall. South wall. Noting the windows, interior of the windows. We're noting the fixture in the middle of the room. Again, this is the south wall. This is the southwest corner. This is the west corner, west wall. I'm going to note there's like a tile missing. There's also a room in the back. That's the northwest corner. That's room 213A. I'm going to come in this room. Again, this is room 213A. Notice that going inside the door, that the paint is scraped off some areas of the door. It's a two-part door. Going into my left and looking back, door we came in. Looking to my left, that's the west wall. Noticing some water stain up top. So we have some tile missing, ceiling tile. This is the north wall. There's another classroom, which I get from the other side, I guess. This is the east wall. I'm going to head back. We're going to continue filming the room we just came into. We're looking over to the north wall. Again, there's ceiling tile loose. This is the north wall. I'm going to make sure I note see, there's three of these stations. So we already recorded the one by the south wall. I'm going to record the one now by the north wall. I'm going to go back and continue recording the north wall, noting that, for example, there's some fixtures were removed and the holes are left. This is the northeast corner. This is the east wall, and the center fixture in the middle of the floor. And we're going to now exit this room. Okay, we just came from room 221. There's 219. And now we're going to go into the 8th grade. There's a hallway, I guess, here. Noticing the condition of the hallway entrance. There's a hole. There's a screw missing in the very top. Screw, bolt, rivet, something. Missing up there on the left-hand side. There's also one at the bottom, missing, top right. Okay, we're going to come inside now, the 8th grade. Looking back. As we're inside the hallway here, my note to my left, which is west, that the second flag has some damage at the bottom. Looks like they taped it. Again, we're going to look back where we came from. And let's just walk down the hall. First to my right, which is east. My left, which is west. Some of the lights are off in here. If I stop right here, I can turn and there's 2 more restrooms and a couple of classrooms. The first one we're going to go into is the boys' restroom. Boys, men's. Hello, anybody inside? Anybody inside the bathroom? Okay, if you notice, I've noted there's no one inside the restroom area. So we're going to start on the outside. Looking down, note that there's some minor patchwork here on toward the floor. And note some minor cracking in the plaster, but no real damage. Little hole in the wall has been patched. Small hole in the tile. 3 stalls. The stall on the left is a larger stall. Notice there's some kind of a patchwork on the floor down here. Larger stall. It's in good condition. You see a couple of patches in the tile. Middle stall. Urinal on the right. There's a slight crack in the plaster up above next to the vent. And next to that other area, there's a small crack there also, crack in the ceiling. Looking back toward the sink area. I'm going across the hall to the girls' restroom. Hello, anybody in the girls' restroom? Anyone in the girls' restroom? All right, no one answered. Going inside, noting the bottom. Baseboard loose. Small crack in the tile on the floor at the transition. Looking to my left first, looking at the sink area. You will notice that there's been caulked, just no damage. There are 3 stalls. We're going to go to the left stall first, a small stall. Note there's a holder And the holder is coming off the wall. Paper holder or a receptacle maybe. The middle stall. The larger stall to the right. You walk in and notice that the soap dispenser is down. Look around and there's a large hole about 4 tiles high, 4 tiles across is damaged, opened up that wall. I'm not going to come out and there's no lights here. We have room 236 we're going to go into next. In 236. In the hallway before we get to room 236, again, the lights are out in this area. There's also room 234. We're going to look at this while we go into. There's some scratches on the doors, around the handles, both doors. We're going to go inside room, again, 236. Okay. I'm going to turn to my left and look back at the door we just came in. We will notice that the door does have significant scratch marks at the bottom and in the middle area, around the window also. Also note that above the door, left side, there's a crack going from the door to the ceiling. Looking at the north wall, there is a door in the back, northeast corner. This carpet's really dirty too, and I make especially know that the carpets are really dirty. There's some slight damage in the north wall at the bottom toward the middle area next to the floor. This is the east wall. That is the southeast corner. This is the south wall. And this is the west wall. I'll make a note that on the west wall, in the corner you'll see a set of cabinets. The bottom drawer shows damage in the left corner and the right corner. Also, where the cabinet is tied into the wall, it's come loose. Again, this is the west wall. We're now going to go into room number 234. Walk in and turn to my left. Looking back at the door we came in. Note there's a scratch in the door about maybe 2 foot high, 18 inches or so. This is the west wall. We're noting that the cabinets have some scratches on it. Look like scratches at the first set of drawers. If you look, there's also some marks of some kind, red marks, next to the handles on the door below the sink. There's holes in the back wall where it looks like something was mounted and removed. Again, this is the west wall. We're going to note that in the corner, there's some damage in the, I guess where it hooks up to the wall, for the appliance hooks to the wall, there's some damage. You can see there from the floor going up. It's also cracked, putting away from the wall. There's also a mark of some kind on the top large drawer. Again, this is the west wall. We're now looking at the northwest corner. This is the north wall. Again, there's some tape removed, leaving some adhesive on the floor. This is the northeast corner, east wall. There's that door, same door that ties these two rooms together. This is the southeast corner. And this is the south wall. I note also on the south wall that up top there is some damage to the light fixture. As I'm leaving out from room 234 and 236, there is no light here. Put a light on it real quick. There's a caulk board here adhered, screwed into the wall. I want to make special note that that caulk board is damaged. You'll see there's damage on the far right corner and on the top. That's the right next to the boys' bathroom. Notice that the caulk board is damaged in those two areas. And there's in the middle also, the caulk board is damaged. I'm going to walk out here now and go to room 217, electrical room. Okay, this is room 217. We're going to electrical room. To my left, which is south. This is the south wall. Notice that the plate is off the outlet. A set of steps, metal steps. Looking at the north wall now. This is the northeast corner, and there's a ladder going up to the roof, I assume. Close look at these steps. Being in good condition. Okay, we're going to go back into room 217. As you see from here, there is a door at the far west corner. We're going to go up that steps and inside that door. First thing we see is chill water supply lines. I'm going to go into the room and go to my right and walk around the equipment and show the grating on the floor. We're going to go to my right again. This is toward the north. There you go. Looking at the AC ductwork. We're now facing west. Okay, I don't think I can squeeze back behind this way. Maybe I have to get through here. Let's see. Yeah, I can squeeze through. Go around this way. Okay. Let me go back outside. We're going to continue north down the hallway. We just left out of room 217, the electrical room. Go to the hallway, the lockers, minor damage on the floor in the corner. We have a room 230, which is a textbook room. As I go into room 230, go in again first, turn to my left, go back and face the door that I just came in. Looking to my right. It's a small room. There is some shelving on the floor. In the corner. The room is completely full of textbooks and there's not much wall or floor to see. Okay. Again, we came from the electrical room, went into room 230. There's two more rooms side by side. This is on the east wall. This is room 228A, custodian room. Again, this is a custodian room. We're going to look from the left to right. The door we just came in from bottom to top. Nothing really to note in this room. There's a crack in the wall, in the ceiling. Actually, it's just a minor crack. Like the paint is chipping in the south corner and the north corner wall going across. That's the north wall, the same thing. The paint's just chipping. I don't think it's cracked, but make special note about it. We're now going to go into room number 226, a teacher planning room. Okay, this room is carpeted, room 226. Let's look at the outside door first. Outside door is in good condition. Again, this room is carpeted. See the floor? Carpet is very dirty at the entrance. Turn around to my left. And look back at that door. This the door starts room starts very narrow. North corner wall. You can see there's sticky stuff on the wall, glued stickers on the wall. The south wall shows the cork board. It's full of staples, and the whiteboard. There's paint, but no damage. Paint around. There's the 226A. 226A is the toilet. Look inside, around. See any damage? Just notice that the dispenser has been relieved and there's some holes in the wall where equipment has been removed. This sign says closed, leaking on carpet. So okay. And in the top corner of the doorway, above the mirror, excuse me, there is some cracking in the tile. You can see that from just above the door to the ceiling. We go outside this room again, looking. Now the room opens up. I close the door sort of to that toilet room. But now this is where I am now. I've walked into the room, and as you see, the room then goes from narrow to nice and wide. We're going to go to the left this time. This is the south wall, southwest corner. This is the southeast corner. Windows. There is a slight damage on the north window. There it is. You can see it there. Again, this is the east wall. And again, this is the north wall. Okay. We're going to exit the building now. Look at the lockers on the north side, or east side, lockers on the west side. There are a couple of lockers that are open. There's 1474 and 1477 lockers are open. The overhead light is loose in the corner. As I go out the door, this is the north door. I'm looking down at the bottom. It looks like there's some damage. The door is cracked. Yes, it is. The door is cracked from the bottom through the hinge, through this middle hinge, and up a little bit higher, if you can see that. There he is, some light on it. Again, from the bottom, from the floor, from the bottom, it is cracked. Through the middle hinge, A little higher.
Thank you, sir.
As we come outside, I'm going to turn around and look back at the doorway. We've just finished the inside hallway and rooms. We're looking toward the south. We're going to then turn around toward the west. There's 2 more doors to go into. The first door, classroom, is room 215. 215. That door shows that there's just some paint issues, but there's no damage to the door. Just a minor white spot over the room number. If you go in the room, 215, and turn to my left and look back at the door we just came in, from bottom to top. I'm going to turn to my right, which is turning toward the east. Look at the east wall. I'm going to note here in the northeast corner, there is some minor cracks in the corner wall. Again, this is the east wall. I notice that just above the whiteboard, you can look up, you'll see a square hole in the tile. Over the door, you'll also see there's some tile hanging. We're at the southeast corner of the room. This is now the south wall. Looking at the southwest wall and corner. We're now looking at the west wall. There's a ceiling tile missing up ahead or broken. There's also a small hole in the ceiling tile, square hole. This is the northwest corner. If you notice at the corner just below the telephone, there is a wall jack that's hanging out. And now we're going to go to the north wall. Windows. I'll note that the electrical outlet in the bottom is twisted, bent to the right, which is to the east. And also I note that the blinds on the window have a dent in them. There's also some minor dings in the wall below the windows. The next room we're going to go into is room 213, 213. Before we go there, we're going to look at the exterior wall of room 215. There's 215 there. The interior wall shows, first of all, the door stop the rubber part is missing. The first window looks good. The second window. Below the second window, there's another door stop that's damaged. Looking at the door and the wall for room 213. don't really see any damage, but I do see some something scraped the wall up here, it looks like. Took some of the paint off of it. Again, we're going to room 213. Okay, 213. Come in, look to my left, and turn around back to the door. This is the door we just came in. There's some scrapes, paint on the door, but there's no damage. There is a small hole at the bottom of the door on the north side. When you go to my left this way, this time, this is a small opening, and then the room opens up pretty wide. It's from the left area. And now we're going to show a water stain in the corner. Ceiling tile, small hole in the ceiling tile, and now we're going to go to the right. This I'm facing east. That's the entrance of the door. We're going to face and turn around toward the south. There's some equipment in the middle of the floor. You're going to do a walk around that equipment. There's 3 of those in the room. We're looking at the east wall, and in seeing the east wall, you can see the other fixture. We'll walk around that one. No apparent damage. We'll go ahead and do the 3rd fixture. Then we'll go back to this east wall. This is now the south wall. You will see there is some discoloration in the wall and on the floor because of the, like something was moved from there, a cabinet maybe. Again, this is the south wall. This room is 213A in the south corner. We already came in this room from the other side. Here's a doorway. And this is the west wall. Again, you see some ceiling tile pushed out, minor holes in ceiling tile. Again, little ceiling tile out of place. And this is the northwest corner. Look at the bottom down here. We'll see that there's a plate missing off of something there. It's a hole in the wall. And this is the north wall. Starting from the west to the east, the second window, third window. And fourth window. me get back out to where we came in. We are now going outside and finish up on the recording session. This is the north wall. Just north of the room 213. We need to go inside room 224. 224. I want to note that we just came out of room 224 and there's a barrier and I can't get through there, so I'm going to record outside the room, the walkway. There is a crack in the concrete. You see it right there? There's a crack just outside of, here's the room 224. And if you look down, straight down in the walkway, there's a crack here in the walkway. Since we can't get through there, we're going to go through 224 into the next room. I need to re-record room 224. Again, this is the entrance to 224. As we come in the room, we're going to note that there's a room door here to my right or to the north. We're going to look back at the door we just came in from bottom to top. We'll go into that room next. Looking at the north wall in room 224. We will note that in the northeast corner, the shelving is coming apart. There's some patchwork here on the floor. There's a carpet and of the windows. We're going from north to south. This is the southeast corner. Again, this is the south wall, southwest corner. Noting there's some ceiling tile out in the corner up top. And we're going to look back at the room door we came in. Instead of going outside that room, we're going to go through the door because there's a barricade outside I can't get around. So we're going to go into the next room. Go outside first. Here is that barricade. And that was 224 down there. So we couldn't get through. We're now going to look at room 222. Room 222. The outside door. We'll note that on room 222, the actual door number identifier, there is a crack in the corner, the left corner. You walk in, we're going to turn around. We are looking at the northwest corner. This is the north wall. There is shelving in the northeast corner of the room. We'll note that the back shelving has some loose parts. The bottom here's the back side of the second shelving. Again, a couple of loose parts. Here's the front side of the second set of shelves. This is the east wall. Looking at the wall, and notice that there are some paint damage to the wall between the second and third window. You see it here? Looks like tape was on it and tape got pulled off and pulled some of the paint with it. There's also some areas that have been patched paint. It looks like something's been removed from this area. There's a difference in the flooring and the wall. You'll see a lot of, in the corner, that is the southeast corner. There's a lot of same thing. Looks like paint peeled off the walls. Same thing up top here above the whiteboard. This is the south wall. We're going to note up above that there are some, there's a ceiling tile loose. One back over here also. Over by the the east wall. This is the door we came in from. This is the southwest corner of the room. Again, you'll notice a lot of the areas that have the paint peeled off. Same thing underneath the cabinets. You see it? And this is the west wall. And we're going to exit. So we're going to finish this part of the assignment. We are here this is the exterior wall of the building. See the hallway there? It says 8th grade hallway. The temporary fencing. Going to look at the overhead area. And we're going to go down the stairs. We're going to call this part of the job complete for the top floor, second floor. We're going to, again, go down the stairs very carefully. And we're going down the stairs. We can see as we go. I'm going to go to one side so I can lean against the handrail. And looks to be in pretty good shape. There are some damages on the handrails to the paint. Paint scraped off quite a bit. That's the north side. Okay, let's look at it again from here. This is the platform between the floors. Again, the paint is chipped off quite a bit on the north handrail going up. Then if I look on the south side handrail, you'll note that as it goes up, there are some areas that have paint chipped off of them. So now we're down on the landing, looking around at this area. Handrail. I'm going to note that the light on the north side is broken. This is the light on the landing. We're going to go down the stairs to the first floor. Again, up here you can see that the handrails have paint chipped off of them. A little closer. And then on the north wall, you'll see the same thing. The handrails do have chips on them coming up the stairs. Then we're going to go downstairs and view the stairs from the bottom looking up. Okay, we're going to look down the stairs now. This is from the landing. This is the north side of the building that we recorded earlier. We're now from the second floor to the first floor. This is the landing, looking at the handrails, which have some paint damage. We'll view them again from down looking up too. That's the south side. And here's the north side. Again, you'll see some various paint damage. And again, I want to make sure I note this this light is broken here on the south wall upstairs. We're now at the bottom of the stairs. We're going to look from the bottom up. Just look toward the south. We'll see the stairs. We'll see the condition of the handrails, some paint chipped on the handrails. We'll look at the north side of the steps, wall and handrail. Again, you'll see the paint chipped off. And then we're going to step back and again notice the overall area. I'm looking at that south building, and this is the wall we recorded a couple times. On the front of that wall, on the other side is the school mascot. We are going to call this quits. This is the end of the recording. You'll see now that the team is already here. They already got up temporary fencing and ready to go. This is Carrick Williams, and thank you so very much for hiring us for this job. Look forward to the next one, or actually part 2 of this job, phase 2. Have a good one.